Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. I know. Don't get on my neck, please. Don't get on my neck. But yes, I've been gone for a little bit. That's because I was going through a lot of like mental stuff, and I felt really low, especially about my YouTube channel. I didn't feel like I was creating fun or cool content, so I just felt like why am I doing this? So I let my insecurities and my anxiety get the best of me, but that stage has passed and I'm back. And today what I'm going to be talking about is WandaVision. So if you're a Marvel fan, it is amazing. That's why I'm kind of wearing red. It's like a red type of thing because one of my favorite characters, and this is even before Marvel even like put her in the movies, Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, has always been one of my favorite superheroes because she's just so strong and her powers are really like amazing. And the stories that she's been in have been one of the most iconic storylines, like House of M. Everybody, if you're a Marvel fan, period, you know House of M. So WandaVision, the premise of that show is Wanda Maximoff. If you've seen any of the Marvel movies, she was an experiment for a Hydra leader, basically named Baron Strucker. Strucker used Loki's scepter from the Avengers and the stone that was in it to basically experiment on Wanda and Pietro Maximoff, which are twins, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. So they got their powers through the stone, which ended up being the Mind Stone that powered Vision, aka Jarvis, and the body that Ultron wanted to go into. So after Age of Ultron, Pietro Maximoff died. And by died, I mean he was shot by Ultron, like bullets. Like the man was not coming back from that. Wanda was very hurt because that's her twin and she felt it, and that scene is like one of my favorites. She ended up ripping Ultron's heart out and she was very sad. And then in Civil War, she was in the Avengers team, and there's a point where Steve heard Bucky's name from Crossbones and he froze, and then the Crossbones had a bomb on him and he exploded it, but Wanda kept it contained, and when she was trying to lift it off, it was too much for her and I guess she let it go, or it still exploded and killed a bunch of people. And because of that, the Sokovia Accords happened. And the Sokovia Accords is like that. If you've read Civil War, like the comics, it's a superhero registration act. So it's like every superhero has to be registered. And if they're not, then they're an outlaw basically. And then they can get in trouble. Like if a superhero was caught in America in like Detroit and they're not part of the superhero act, like they didn't register, they can get arrested and like lose whatever. If they have gear, they can lose that, and it's a whole thing. And some superheroes thought like we don't want to be registered or being told like where to go and when to go, because if there's people who need our help, that's the whole point, is for us to go whenever somebody needs us, not when the government allows us to go. So Steve was on that point of view. Iron Man was like, he wanted to kind of keep the Avengers together, and in that case he signed. So did, I think, Rhodey, Vision. So they were keeping Wanda in the Avengers compound, but she soon found out, like, because Vision was kind of making it obvious, like, she couldn't leave. So she found out that they were, like, keeping her there because it's like other people are afraid of her. And then Hawkeye tried to bust her out. Vision, like, was holding Hawkeye, and Wanda put my boy Vision down. It was tough. Because in Civil War, like, it's kind of like assumed that they're in a relationship because the way they act towards one another. And, then in the airport battle, there's a fight and Vision and Wanda are on the opposite side. So Vision is with Iron Man and Wanda's with Cap. So they're fighting against each other and she saves Cap and Bucky. I want to say it's like a plane or a helicarrier, one of the two. I don't know. We cut to Infinity War. Wanda and Vision are in hiding together, and then Thanos comes and tries to kill Vision because he has the stone in the middle of his freaking forehead, and unfortunately that ends up happening. Vision does end up dying, so Wanda literally has no one now. And then she ended up being one of the many people who were snapped away. So then in Endgame, I'm sorry I'm kind of like rushing through because there's a lot of things that I missed, but I really don't have time to like really delve deep in her lore. So that's why I'm kind of like making quick points that I can remember off the top of my head. So then in Endgame, she comes back at the end when Doctor Strange's little thing.
And then he started doing the yellow sparkly thing that he does.
And she ends up coming back, fighting Thanos, like literally almost kills him, and he was willing to risk his people so that he couldn't get killed. Because again, Kevin Feige even said it, that Wanda would have killed Thanos. That's the thing. Like, I hope you know that if you ever feel like she's weak or that people are giving her too much praise, you're wrong. And I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong.
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
In 2 occasions where she let her emotions kind of take over her, Age of Ultron, when she felt Pietro die, she literally turned Ultron's bots, who I think were made out of vibranium too, into literal dust. I'll replay the scene again. Damn! To dust. There's no little parts here. To dust. They're gone. Just particles, atoms at this point. Like, to dust. Vibranium. That's the strongest metal. That's Black Panther's entire suit. That's Captain America's shield. To dust. Okay? Out of anger. Out of sadness. Okay? And then in Infinity War, she's literally breaking the Mind Stone from Vision's head, which is an Infinity Stone. And then when Thanos comes, she's holding him back with damn near all the Infinity Stones except for the one she's taking out of Vision's head. She's doing that at the same time. If that doesn't tell you how powerful she is, I don't know what you want to do. And then can we talk about in Civil War, she was the MVP. She's the reason why Cap basically got to leave. Because if she was on Iron Man's team, it would have been over, shut down, game over. They're not going anywhere. It would have been arrested. Because if she was on Iron Man's team, it would have been quick. But the fact that she was on Cap's team, you saw like Black Panther almost freaking killed Winter Soldier, and she caught him. You know, Black Widow was almost gonna freaking kick Hawkeye in the face, moved her out the way. Like, hello? So Wanda's the MVP, okay? Wanda's very powerful, and she hasn't even really touched her powers yet. Like, really haven't touched it. So in Endgame, after, spoiler alert, after Tony dies, they go to his funeral and she's talking to Hawkeye. He hopes that like Black Widow knows that they won, and she's like, they both do, kind of like talking about Vision, because Vision was before the snap, so like he's dead, like dead. So then WandaVision takes place after Endgame, and it takes place in Westview, New Jersey, which is the state next to where the Avengers compound is, because the Avengers compound is in New York. And then Westview, I don't even know how far it is from there, but I think after, depending on where Tony lived at the time, she went from where Tony lived to Westview, and then that's when everything in WandaVision starts to happen. So WandaVision basically is like, it starts off kind of cute, like, oh, Wanda is in, you know, like a 50s sitcom. But why is Wanda in a 50s sitcom? Like, why? Like, what just happened? Like, it's automatically like, oh, darling, like, whoa, pause. How, we're not in the 50s.
Somebody come look at this.
What is this?
Somebody come and look at this.
So, you know, like, you know off rip something's wrong. And then on top of that, Vision is alive. We all know Vision is not alive. Okay, this man is dead. Muerto. Like, 6 feet under, gray. Okay? We're like, what is going on here? Because he's not supposed to be there. And they're not in the 50s. So basically with WandaVision, it's, I want to say, this is my theory, I want to say Wanda snapped. And I don't want to say like she's House of M snapped, but she's like, she just had a mental breakdown. Like, because she probably, you know, after Tony's death, that probably hit her, you know, that like a lot of people died, and then Vision, and then her brother, and like she felt alone because it's like kind of the Avengers are in a way done. Steve is old, you know, so he can't fight. Thor's gone. Black Widow's dead. Hawkeye's with his family, you know. Hulk is doing something else. I don't even know what he's doing. But like everybody else is doing their own thing. So Wanda doesn't have anything to keep her mind off of the ones that she lost, Pietro and Vision. So, especially Vision. So, she probably got to Westview and like either it overwhelmed her grief overwhelmed her, or somebody used her grief and basically manipulate her to transform into the reality that she wanted, which in the comics, Agatha Harkness is a witch from the Salem witch trials who ends up training Wanda into really getting to know her powers and making Scarlet Witch become an actual witch. And then that's why everybody's like, if you see the show, the lady named Agnes in the show, which everybody's inferring that she is Agatha. Which, if that's the case, then maybe Agnes found Wanda somewhere, or, was looking for her and was just like, you can use your powers for whatever you want to do. You can have the life that you want with Vision and your kids. And, with all of that, Wanda was just like, why would I want to live in this reality when I can make my own? And boom, did whatever she did. And anything that's not right, if you see any of the last 4 episodes, anything that went wrong, like with the sword, the beekeeper, or the radio talking to her, she loses her concentration, and that's why they're allowed to get in. But other than that, everything is exactly how she wants it to be. Vision and her happy, her having kids. And I feel like it's not all completely Wanda's fault. I feel like she's being manipulated by somebody else who, a lot of people are assuming that it's like Mephisto, who's the brother of Satan. So Mephisto in the comics used Wanda to give birth to her twins. And he tried to use the twins to possess their souls, basically. And I feel like that is kind of where they're going. But if they're not going that route, then I feel like, I don't know, I'm excited because the 4th episode that they just posted was amazing. Like, we were like, the first episode when we saw somebody write down and put the book, we were like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, who's writing stuff down? Like, somebody's watching them. Like, is this like a simulation? Like, is somebody doing this to her? And then we find out that it's Darcy from Thor, and James Woo with the little card trick. With the card trick, he's also there from Ant-Man. And Monica Rambeau from Captain Marvel, she's an adult now. And first of all, the way they started that episode, beautiful. Like, you still feel the impact of what happened in Infinity War. Like, the snap is something that will change the MCU forever. Like, it's always going to be brought up. It's always going to be basically a consequence of that action. Like, kind of like what happened in Avengers, how everybody was talking about, the Battle of New York. Is because, like, nobody really knew about aliens until the whole world didn't really know about aliens until then. Like, maybe secret governments and a couple people did, but not the entire world. So that was a big deal. And the same thing with the snap. Like, half the universe is gone for 5 years. Monica was part of the people that were snapped, and her mother, who was the friend of Captain Marvel in Captain Marvel, she died within those 5 years that Monica was gone. So it was, she comes back and she's like, where's her mom? And then the doctor tells her, like, oh, your mom died like 2 years ago. 2 or 3, I don't remember how many years ago. And she's just like, no, like, I was just here like 5 minutes ago, and my mom just went into surgery and you said everything's gonna be fine. And I'm just like, oh, that just broke my heart. I was like, oh no, this is like the worst way possible you can find out that somebody died. Like, terrible. Monica's mother created SWORD just like how Peggy created SHIELD. But, because Monica was gone within those 5 years, they had to put somebody in charge because Monica's mother died. So they have somebody else who's the acting director. Monica goes to Westview because they're hearing that there's like a missing persons case, and that's where she meets Jimmy Woo in Westview. And there's a sheriff and another cop. They're like, there's no town called Westview. There's Eastview, there's not Westview. We're like, okay, but there's a sign behind you that literally says Westview. So how do you not know there's a Westview when we're looking at a sign that says Westview? Like, but that shows the power of Wanda. So they're like, let's try to figure out if we can get in, you know. And then Monica puts a drone in, but then it disappears. Which, if you saw, I think the second episode, you see that that in some cases, especially in the 50s, 60 episodes, that it's black and white. But when Dottie cut her hand, you actually saw the blood. And then you see in another scene, there's a toy, but it's in red. That was the drone. So yeah, Monica sees that the drone disappeared and she's like, wait, what just happened? And then she goes closer to the town and she sees like a kind of like static, not really static, but like she sees a difference, right? And then she puts her hand in and then she goes in. And then that's how she was also trapped into the sitcom or the reality of what Wanda's doing. So then, you know, Sword's like, oh, one of our people in there, let's make camp. And then they bring people who could give them answers, which includes Darcy. And if you don't know Darcy, Darcy's from the Thor trilogy. She wasn't in the third one, but she was in the first two. She's in there and she figures out that, you know, there's a frequency and that frequency is actually something for, like, she puts it on a TV and then that's how she sees Wanda. And that was the person who was taking notes in the first episode. And then in the third episode, Wanda figures out, or basically Monica snitches on herself, and she's like, when Wanda gives birth to her twins, Wanda goes, I was a twin. And she's like, his name was Pietro. She starts singing in Sokovian, which that's where she's from, Sokovia. And freaking Monica go, he was killed by Ultron, wasn't he? What? And then Wanda, what did you say? Oh, shut it down. Get her out. Like, what did you just say? Oh, I was like, no, did she just say that? And Wanda's face was just like, what did you just say? I don't know if that's supposed to be for kids, because that bit scared me. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, what? I was like, did she really just say Ultron? Like, whoa, right? Then Wanda's like, what did you just say? And then like Monica's trying to like get back, like she's kind of like glitching, and then she has a necklace that has a sword in it, and then Wanda's like, what is that? She's just like, I don't know. You don't know, sweetheart? You better get going. So then Wanda is like, I think you should leave, and then like blasts her out of the reality. And then at the end, Monica is in the real world, right? So then the fourth episode, like, that's, you know, we see Wanda like basically blast her out. Because in the third episode, we didn't see that. We just saw Monica like already outside, and Wanda's like looking at her twins like, oh, everything is fine. But in the fourth episode, ooh, that scene, if y'all know what I'm talking about, that scene where Wanda looks up, she sees a dead Vision, that scared me. I was like, oh, and I even looked away too. I was like, oh, and I'm like, wait, is that real? And then she looks back and he's normal. I'm like, it's glitching. And then can we talk about the glitch? The glitch in the third episode, I'm like, I thought it was my TV. I'm just like, whoa. And I figured out that it was her. And then in the first episode, she was like, no. And that bit reversed. I was like, oh. Wait, was it the first? No, it was the second episode. I was like, whoa, what is this? Because every time Vision asks, like, this isn't right, she changes it because she doesn't want him to notice. She doesn't want anybody to notice that this isn't real, because it ruins her fantasy. It ruins her reality. And she just can't deal with it. She can't deal with the grief. She doesn't want to. So it was like, are the twins real? Is Vision, like, did she, I don't know. And like, there's so many other things that I haven't even covered. But if you want me to talk about it more, then like, subscribe, comment, and I definitely will. I'll make a part 2 about this video, or I'll continue talking about WandaVision every episode that they do. Also, Marvel, I'm gonna need you to listen to me real quick. Y'all were mild. After the freaking third episode, you were like, suggested Age of Ultron. No, no, I don't want to see that movie after that. After we just heard that, yeah, he was killed by Ultron, and you trying to make me watch that man die again? Like, what? Y'all were mild for that. Why didn't you put the Avengers? Or Infinity War? No, not even Infinity War. How about Endgame? No, Age of Ultron. Yeah, for sure. No, are you crazy? Like, yeah, I want to see Pietro die by a freaking hail of bullets. No. But I love the way they're taking Wanda and like her story. I think it's amazing. WandaVision is just great. The fact that they did like a sitcom thing, love it. And like, this is the only thing I have to say. If you feel like, when I was on TikTok and like, I love that, you know, a lot of people are giving it great reviews and they're giving their theories and, you know, they're going back to the comics to see if there's any relation. That's something, that's all great. And I love that. But if you're one of those people that like in the first episode, you were like, oh, this is slow. What did you expect in the first episode? For you to already have all the answers? Then they should just made a movie. Of course, it's gonna pick up. You're gonna only get information here and there. And even at the end of the season, we still might have more questions than answers. That's the whole point about a show. It's not supposed to give you all the answers in like less than 5 episodes. That's not gonna happen. Like, yeah, do I want answers? 100%. And with the way they're going, especially how episode 4 went, it went like that. No pun intended. Anyways, but like, you know, it went super fast. It felt like 5 minutes. And I'm just like, at the end, I'm like, oh yeah, I still have more time. I freaking click and it's like, oh yeah, it's done. Wait, what? I don't need sleep. I need answers. Like, it's just, if you felt that it was going to give you the answers in the first go, I'm sorry, but you're definitely wrong. Like, that's not going to happen. So I just feel like anybody who felt, oh yeah, this is slower, this is boring, like, what did you expect? This is the 4th episode. I'm confused. Like, what were you expecting? Like, action in the first 10 minutes in the first episode? No. If anything, I like with the way they're going because I know after the 5th episode, everything's gonna change. I know that for sure. I know that for a fact. And after the 5th episode, I don't want to hear anybody saying, oh yeah, this WandaVision is great. WandaVision was great from the jump. From the minute the episode started and we're in the 50s, it's like, whoa, we're not in the 50s. I just feel like some people off rip want to give bad reviews or negative stuff. It's like, give it a chance. Like, the first episode, well, the first 2, because they, you know, shout out to Marvel for that, giving us 2 episodes at once. That was nice. But like, it was only 2 episodes. Of course nothing's gonna happen. Like, and even with the stuff that they gave us, I was satisfied. Was I expecting more? No. It was nice that they even gave us 2 episodes at once. Like, you know, so I just felt like anybody who's complaining about it, you are definitely allowed to have your own opinions. But it's like the Marvel movies as a whole. Like, there are some movies in the Marvel universe that are okay, but they play a key part in the overall franchise. Because if you miss Ant-Man and you go to Endgame, you don't know what the hell quantum realm is because you missed Ant-Man. And Ant-Man talks about the quantum realm and time travel and all that. Do you see? Doctor Strange with the little thing. You wouldn't know why Doctor Strange is doing this or what his powers are if you didn't watch Doctor Strange. Do you understand? Like, things about Thor, like, about why he loses his hammer. You gotta watch Thor Ragnarok to figure it out. Or why is he so sad? Or why is this kind of like he needs his redemption? Because everything happened in Thor Ragnarok. Or the last 3 Thor movies, you've seen his character development. The same thing about Steve. The same thing about Iron Man. Like, you have to watch everything to really understand everything, you know? So it's like, you can't watch Iron Man 3 as terrible as, in my opinion, as it was. You can't watch Iron Man. You can't not watch Iron Man 3. And then I wonder why. Who's that kid at the end of Endgame with the blonde hair? You have to watch it. You have to. Because then it only makes sense. Like, so, you know, I just feel like that's the thing about Marvel. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, you can go without watching this. No, you can't. To have the real full experience, you need to watch it all. Because then you'll understand every callback, every joke, every character arc, every moment. You'll understand it on a deeper level because you basically experienced and watched these characters grow. So like, not watching Age of Ultron, as terrible as it may hurt, you have to, because you have to understand why Wanda got her powers and how she met Vision and, you know, how Vision came to be. And you have to watch Civil War because you have to see how they were divided, you know, and basically how Thanos got to win in Infinity War and why Wanda had to make the ultimate sacrifice and why they lost. And then Endgame, you have to see basically her true, like, her anger take over her. Also, Wanda is a mutant. Wanda is a mutant. This is the perfect opportunity, Marvel, to introduce mutants. Okay? So I want to see something. Okay? I've been waiting for Kevin Feige to like spice up the X-Men franchise because Jesus, Fox, you had so many opportunities to make X-Men great, but you literally only wanted the cash grab. Like, yeah, the X-Men franchise series is not terrible as a whole, but it could have been way better than what you guys produced. Really, way better. Especially Dark Phoenix. If I see Kevin Feige, if you're listening, Marvel, whoever, if I see another Phoenix saga, I'm literally gonna freaking hurl. I'm gonna hurl. I'm not saying Jean is not great. She's great because of the Phoenix Force. But there's so many other stories from the X-Men that you can tell. Why are we always revisiting that pivotal point? Like, we get it. Jean goes crazy because of the Phoenix Force. And she dies. Man, she kills a lot of people on the way. We get it. But you can tell so many other amazing stories with the X-Men. Like, hello? You know, and I just feel like, again, I'm always going to root for my girl Wanda. I feel like Wanda's way more powerful than her. Like, people have literally said she has the power level equivalent to Dormammu and the Phoenix Force. Now, the only reason why Jean is quote-unquote powerful is because she had the Phoenix Force. If you take away Jean away from the Phoenix Force, the Phoenix Force is Wanda's powers. You can't take away Wanda's powers. So, like, hello? Phoenix Force, Wanda. Dormammu, Wanda. Like, but you always want to talk about Dark Phoenix. We don't care. Talk about something else from freaking X-Men. Do something else. Anything. There's little stories for X-Men that you can really touch on other than Dark Phoenix. No. And if you are, use the comics. That's what they're there for. They're there for a point of reference. Why are you doing something about comic book heroes or a comic book story if you're not gonna really use any of the things from the actual comic? That doesn't make sense. Like, you literally have a guide, an actual guide on how to make your movie. And if you don't want to do it page by page, comic strip by comic strip, that's fine. But you just take something and you just throw that away. Like in the latest Dark Phoenix saga, what the hell were those aliens? What even were they? Like, that's stupid. And then Jean killing Mystique. And you know what? This is how great I am. Not to toot my own horn, but still. I knew from just watching the trailer alone, Mystique was gonna die. I knew it. You know why I know? Because when I watched the trailer, there's a point where Beast is holding Mystique's head like this, right? I knew that's where she died. 1, 2, when in another trailer, Mystique is coming closer to Jean and she's like, no, and then like blast her away. I knew that had to do something with her death. And there's another scene where Magneto's like has his hand here and like he's facing down and there's a tear dropping out of his eye. Who else is he gonna cry for? The professor is fine. He don't care about them kids. Those are not his kids. He don't care about them. Who else is he gonna cry about? Mystique. From just those three things in that one trailer, I already knew she was gonna die. And hearing from Jennifer Lawrence that she was done playing Mystique, I knew they were gonna kill her character off. But like, did I like it? No, but I knew that was gonna happen. And I just feel like, and then the fact that Beast was on Magneto's side, I get why, because he loved Mystique and he felt like it was Charles's fault. But like, really? You got, in the comics, Beast is super loyal to Charles. Super loyal. You got the most loyal person to Professor on Magneto's side. Fox, what is this? What is this? Like, now, I'm going to say some good things about, even though there are a few, I'm going to say some good things about it. I love the cracks in her face. Like, the cracks in her face, amazing. Loved it. And like her eyes would change colors. Love it. Because that possessed demon thing that they did with the old X-Men movie, I hated that. Like her eyes would turn completely black. Disgusting. And like just the way the CGI looked when she was like full Phoenix type of thing, I didn't like it. Now this one, like where she had cracks in her face, loved it. Because it's like, in a way, it's like the Phoenix trying to like come out, you know? And like it's cracking through Jean's exterior. And I think that's like super dope. And when I first saw the trailer at the end, like when it's like, you know, you see her, like the cracks in her face, I was like, oh, that's sick. And I was really hoping that movie was good. And then watching it, I'm just like, and then the ending where like, oh, she dies, but then you see the Phoenix in the sky, like. And they had such a good cast too. Like, I think Sophie Turner as Jean, great casting. I think James McAvoy as Charles, great casting. Freaking Michael Fassbender as Magneto, great casting. Like, again, I'm not saying overall that the X-Men franchise sucks. No, there's great parts in every movie. But the movie as a whole could have been so much better. The franchise as a whole could have been so much better. Like, Hugh Jackman gave the performance of his life playing Wolverine for 17 years. And in my opinion, Logan was the best one. And that's his last movie. How is, after 17 years of playing the same character, one movie out of all the movies that he played in, that was his best movie as that character? And now he doesn't even want to play it anymore because he's tired, like, as he should be. It's like, you missed a perfect opportunity to tell good stories with that great actor and great character to tell crappy stories. Like, you know, it's, sorry to touch on this. It's like DC. Like, DC has the most iconic superheroes ever. You literally have everybody wearing a Superman shirt talking about Batman and Wonder Woman. That's like the Holy Trinity. But their movies, now aside from Wonder Woman, because her movies are great, that's the only thing that DC has been good at. But Batman v Superman, come on. What was that? What was that? Justice League? Oh my God. You know, it's like DC as a whole could be at the same level or better at making movies than Marvel is if they actually gave a crap. And you can try to argue with me that they do. They don't. They're looking for a cash grab, and that's it. And Warner Brothers tries to meddle too much in directors' things. Why do you think Justice League came out so terrible? Because it's Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder's movie. No. If you're trying to be like the Russo brothers and like how, you know, they're one unit, do that. But, you know, I obviously know why Zack Snyder had to step down from the film, obviously for personal and family reasons. But Joss Whedon should have continued in Zack Snyder's vision and not change it into his own. That's just how I feel. That's my opinion. If you don't like it, sorry, that's too bad. But like, I just felt like, you know, how is it that the DC animation is way better than the actual DC movies? How? That doesn't make sense. That honestly doesn't make sense. Because if it's about the CGI, you have, and I'm sorry this might seem like I'm comparing, and in a way it is me comparing. How do you have Marvel made Thanos look crazy good? Yes, we obviously know that it's CGI, but crazy good, okay? How do you have that character look great? You got freaking Stephen Wolf looking terrible. You have freaking Henry Cavill's mustache, like his upper lip looking disgusting. Come on. I know Warner Brothers has good CGI teams. Special effects. I know Warner Brothers has good special effects teams. Like I'm telling you, DC could give Marvel a run for their money if they put people on there on the projects who are very passionate about it, and if Warner Brothers just let them go at it. Because that's the thing with Marvel, especially with Kevin Feige. He lets the directors create their own vision. With James Gunn and Guardians of the Galaxy, it's James Gunn's like vision, you know? It's his quirkiness, it's his creativity on the screen. That's why it's so good. Ryan Coogler with Black Panther, it's Ryan Coogler's, you know, type of vibe with the Oakland references because that's where he's from. With everything that it has to do about the movie, it's Ryan Coogler's vision. Why is it that Warner Brothers tries so hard to box these directors in? Like, no. If you hire them for a job, believe that they can deliver on it. So, and I feel like they don't. And that's why their movies constantly fail. I'm not bashing anybody. Like, if obviously you put your heart and soul into making that movie, and I'm not talking about the people who made it. You guys are not the problem. It's business people. The people that are not at the set for more than 20 hours a day, making a film, putting their heart and soul into it. It's Warner Brothers trying to be like, yeah, no, we're not going to think that that's going to do good. When it could have changed the whole movie. Like, that's why I'm excited for Zack Snyder's cut, because it's like, he had so many different ideas, so many plans for the Justice League movie that if this Zack Snyder cut is what we're all hoping it is going to be, it could change the game for DC entirely. Could change it. Justice League is as iconic as the singular characters like Superman and Batman. You know, when you think about superhero team-ups, you think about the Justice League. I mean, now it's the Avengers. Do you understand? Characters like Thor were only known if you really loved Marvel Comics. Now, there's kids dressing up as him for Halloween. There's people that are infatuated with anything that has to do with Thor or his comics. You're taking, like, basically C-list superheroes and making them global stars. DC has iconic freaking superheroes, and you don't even want to watch their movies. Like, what? And it could change. It could definitely change if they really put their heart and soul. I'm talking about the directors or the writers or the producers or the actors or the costume designer or any of them. I'm talking about the people who run Warner Brothers or the people who run DC. You need to start making smart decisions from the perspective of people who actually care about these heroes and these stories and these comics, and basically the reputation of them, the integrity of these heroes, because these heroes mean something to people. These stories have been with people since they were kids. You have people saying that they fell in love with Batman from watching the Batman animated series or any villains from that series in the first place. But then you're doing him such a disservice by making him look and act the way he acted in Batman v Superman or in Justice League. Like, that's no. So I just feel like DC could be so much more than what it is now. How is it that I'm not bashing Wonder Woman because I freaking love her. Hello. You know, I'm not bashing Wonder Woman, But it's like Wonder Woman freaking took off. Like Wonder Woman, the first movie, is amazing. It's 100% amazing, beautiful. I loved it. How is it that you have Man of Steel, you have Batman v Superman, and then Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman takes all of them by storm? And then in Justice League, you downplay her character. Excuse me? We just saw her fight a literal god. And Superman just headbutts her and she's down for the count. This is what I'm talking about. You have a literal goddess, okay? A goddess. Yeah, Superman is strong. I'm not downplaying his powers. But you literally have a goddess, a Greek goddess who literally beat the god of war. The god of war. And Superman just headbutts her. And she's down for the count. What? That doesn't even make sense. You downplaying her powers to make Superman seem super powerful. No. No. If anything, there have been people that said the reason why Wonder Woman's part of the little trinity that they got going on is because she is literally the both of them. She has the hand-to-hand combat and tactical skills that Batman has, can basically beat Batman one-on-one in a fight if need be, and she has the strength of Superman. Come on. And you make her look weak? What is this? What is this? Like, are you trying to hype these characters up to make other characters look bad? Like, no. I don't like it. I don't like it. They made the Amazons seem so weak against Steppenwolf. And it's just like, okay, Darkseid I could understand. But Steppenwolf, really? No, I don't like it. So, that's all I'm going to say. Sorry I went from different things other than WandaVision. But, again, if you want to hear me talk about this a little bit more, I can continue. I can make this a whole series. I could do a part 2 about WandaVision. I could talk about DC. I could talk about whatever you guys want me to talk about. Let me know down in the comments. But yeah, I do miss you guys, and I'm sorry that I haven't been posting a lot, and I'm gonna get better at it. And if you guys want to see me do absolutely nothing because that makes you feel better, let me know. At the end of this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, comment, join my friend group, and let me know what ideas you want me to do, and I'll do them. Now, if they're not crazy, then I'll do them. And if you guys want me to talk more about Marvel and my theories and what I hear, I'll do that too. I freaking love Marvel. I could talk about it all day.
I can do this all day.
Yeah, I know.
I love you guys, and see you soon. Bye. Ryan Coogler with Batman. Again, give this again.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Because it's like, at the end of this video, give it a big thumbs up and like and that's why I said big thumbs up. What the freak?
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Maximoff. It's like a Agnes or Agatha when they're trying to go to I just lost my train of thought. Monica's mother basically created S.H.I.E.L.D. just like how WandaVision.